Dudes, dudettes, today we're going to be jumping into jazz, and specifically the top 10 greatest electric bass players in jazz through history. So with that said, let's jump into it. So I want to kick off this list with one of the OGs when it comes to electric bass and jazz. He was born in 1932. Just check this out. Next up, we've got another OG, the amazing, the phenomenal Steve Swallow. He was born in 1940, so just a few years after Bob Cranshaw, and also originally started out on upright bass, but then again in the 60s transitioned to electric bass. And here you see him on his Citron bass, which is strung E to C. It's a 5-string bass. And again, Steve's just been so important in the development of the electric bass within jazz. He's got a bunch of solo records I highly recommend you check out, but the one that really nails it for me is his live album with Chris Potter and Adam Nussbaum on drums. Just mind-blowing. Anyway, with that said, here he is with the fantastic John Scofield and Bill Stewart. Just check this out. Always plays with the plectrum as well. And always picks right over the fretboard as well, just like this. Check it out. There we go. I think he uses metal picks as well. Just outlining the chords perfectly. Just check out how he gets out of this solo now. Just like monster player. Okay, so next up we have got, well, can you recognize his hand? One of the best, in fact, maybe the most notable electric bass player in jazz of all time. The one, the only, Jaco Pastorius. Amazing facility, amazing time and feel, amazing language on the bass, an innovator, really brought the fretless bass to the forefront, played with the likes of Weather Report and Joni Mitchell and did his own albums and like, Jaco Pastorius. Like, not only with his language just that next level, the execution of what the placement of the notes and his timing is again next level. So there's more than just one thing here going on. He was one in a lifetime. Okay, so next up we've got another jazz legend on obviously electric bass. We've got the amazing, phenomenal Jeff Berlin. And this video is killer. It's actually a throwback video from the MI days over in Los Angeles. And here he's playing his 4-string as usual. I'm not sure which model this was. And he's playing Blue Bossa, that real famous jazz standard that a lot of people started out with when they started getting into jazz. Now, with that said, let's hear Jeff doing his thing. Just superb language, just check it out. F minor, D minor, G7, C major. Okay, so check this out. Next up, we've got Jeff Andrews. In my opinion, it's a crime, like seriously a crime, that more people don't know about Jeff and what he brought to the electric bass in jazz. Every time I listen to Jeff, I'm just sort of like kind of speechless. Hopefully you'll be the same. Check this out. So this is a fast blues. So next up, we've got another really, really important bass player in terms of the development of the electric bass. Victor Bailey played with Weather Report and produced albums and just did a whole load of amazing work in his lifetime. And this track I want to share with you today is called Baby Talk. And the first time I heard it, I couldn't believe it was electric bass. Like, I was like, what? It just sounded so great. So when anybody ever comes to me and like,
electric bass and jazz, I'm like, is it a thing?
Dude, just check this out. And in a minute, you're going to hear him go way up high. It's beautiful. Down. So next up, we've got another electric bass jazz legend, and this time we've got him playing with the phenomenal band UZEB. Any UZEB fans out there, let me know in the comments. I know you're going to be out there. Anyway, it is the one and only Alain Caron, French-Canadian from Montreal, monster player, and here he's actually playing one of the first ever F basses. It's a 4-string fretless, and he's just tearing it up. You'll hear he's got this weird effect on it. It's an envelope filter, and just check out the sax player standing behind him and checking him out, okay? Let me know in the comments if you knew who that sax player is. Check this out. Monster chops. Okay, let's take pause for a minute. Next up, I expect that everybody's going to watch this video, especially if you're around my age or older. You'll remember the VHS. You'll remember watching this video for the first time, this intro, and you'll probably be able to sing along and be like, oh, those lines. It's the amazing John Patitucci. Nobody watched this and didn't want a Ken Smith at the end of it. Oh! Just language for days. Now Ken Smith just watching this again. Shout out to John, obviously teaches for SPL now as well. Check John out if you haven't. If you remember, there's a bunch of courses from John already in the membership at SPL with more coming. Definitely check them out. Oh! Now next up, we've got another SPL tutor. So if you're into this, obviously go check out his courses over in Scott's Bass Lessons. Kind of blows my mind saying that because next up we have the legendary Gary Willis. Obviously, many of you will know him from his time with Tribal Tech and has gone on to do his own albums, played with Dennis Chambers and like a bunch of other players. Choosing this clip because this is the clip that I saw when I was in my teens that just like changed my life. I was like, I've no idea what he's doing. I want to do that. Check it out. Well, next up we've got, well, you can see him right here. We've got the phenomenal Matt Garrison, who I believe has really shaped the language of many modern electric bass players in jazz. I'm just going to let Matt do the talking for himself on his instrument. And I've got one more as well after this. Matt's the 10th. I've got one more for you. So stick around. Check it out. Oh. The blues. And what you'll also hear with Matt as well at the beginning there, he's using that C minor there over that C minor, okay, which it's just that regular minor sound, okay. Matt really uses this note really well. It's the major 7. So definitely check that out. If you're playing just like a C minor, okay, C minor chord, you're actually using it's a B, right? And it doesn't fit within the chord, but it gives that extra bit of spice. That one right there. We've been through the top 10, right? But I needed to fit Hadrian in there because Hadrian Thoreau is, again, sort of like, for me, that next generation. He kind of sort of like took that thing that Matt Garrison did, and then he's taken it and done his own thing with it. But Hadrian has been so important for the development of the electric bass within jazz. I couldn't make this video and not have him in there. So with that said, I'm going to leave Hadrian to do his thing, and also just say thanks for watching this video. If I've missed anybody out that you thought should be in there in terms of the through history and the importance of electric bass within jazz, obviously let me know in the comments. I could only fit 10 people in. These were my top 10 that I wanted to throw in there, but for sure put your top 10 or anybody that you think deserves a mention down below again. So with that said, here's Hadrian doing his thing. Check this out. Otherworldly. Take it easy, guys. See you in a bit.